Hi everyone, my name is Luis Juliana Cacho and I will be discussing to you the job application process. We will going to tackle how to write a cover letter, a resume, and what kind of interview you will encounter. So, what is a cover letter? Cover letter is a letter you write to a prospective employer to persuade him or her to give you a job. It's typically just one page long with a message conveyed in about 3 to 5 paragraphs. The cover letter is format like a business letter, but it has its own specific challenges. It's very important that the cover letter does not contain mistakes when it comes to the information about the company and prospective employer. First, the date and inside address should be provided. Latter, including the contact person's name and position as well as the company name in its address. Like in other business letters, the salutation should begin with the word "Dear" followed by the appropriate courtesy title. So, let's say for example, Mr., Miss, Doctor, Prof, Attorney, Engineer, and etc. In the first paragraph, the applicant should immediately state an interest in the specified position as well as give reasons, for example, background as to his/her suitability as a candidate. The first paragraph should be kept short, no longer than a page or a half page. In the second paragraph, qualifications should be supported by the concrete and specific details, such as from the applicant's resume. The applicant's interest in the company should be emphasized further with details that call attention to the fact that he or she knows the firm, field, or industry well. In the closing paragraph, there should be a request for an interview or some form of follow-up action. The complementary clause should be formal. For example, sincerely, respectfully, or very truly yours. So let's proceed to the resume. So, Lacker and Kazmarek in 2009 defined resume as a document attached to a cover letter to serve as a persuasive summary of your qualifications for employment. Ideally, unless one is applying for a top-level position, one page is adequate, especially for fresh graduates. Less important content should be trimmed or omitted too, in order to fit the more important achievements into a single page. You just need to put there your achievements and your big achievements. When there is more than one page, each page should have the applicant's name and a page number for easy reference. So, there are three main types of resume. The number one is the chronological resume. The traditional and most accepted resume is the chronological resume. Items are listed in verse chronological order with the most recent work or schooling first. Names, dates, and place of employment are listed, and education and work experience are grouped separately. This is used when there are no large gaps in the applicant's work history and if his or her education and previous work experience relate to the current job objective. The second type of resume is functional resume. It focuses on the skills and talents developed by the applicant and does not emphasize job titles, employers, names, and dates. This is used when there are gaps in the writer's work or study history, when such experiences are not relevant to the position for which he or she is applying, and when the writer wishes to combine experiences from paid jobs, activities, volunteer work, and courses to show the extent of his or her experience in particular area. The last type is the chrono-functional resume. As the name suggests, it is a combination of the two types. It chronologically lists job history and education but also allows the applicant to highlight certain marketable qualifications. This is used by fresh graduates who have some job experience and by those who are returning to work or changing careers. Lastly, an effective resume should also look good with effective use of white space and other type features. For example, the font size. It should be bold. Information should be neatly divided into clearly labeled sections for education, experience, and other major categories of professional qualifications. There should be no typographic or mechanical error in spelling, capitalization, punctuation, and grammar. Next is job interview. If the employer or hiring personnel like the overall picture presented by a cover letter and resume, they will want a closer picture. They will then ask the applicant to come in for a job interview. Job interviews can vary from structured or formal with a set of specific questions to unstructured with more freewheeling conversation. Among several other types of interview, the following are the most common. First, the traditional one-on-one interview. The candidate is interviewed by one person. Second is the panel interview. The candidate is interviewed by a group or panel. The third one is the group interview. The candidate is interviewed along with fellow candidates. And the last is the stress interview. The candidate is asked a series of difficult and intimidating questions to see how he or she handles the stress. So that's all my report. Thank you for listening.